This video is going to go over common issues within outdated financial planning and analysis solutions and exemplify how Workday Adaptive Planning not only addresses these problems, but enables analysis that would be impossible with those solutions. To start, let's discuss some of the common challenges within the legacy planning process. The first is spending too much time rolling up figures. This is a common and very manual step that becomes very time-consuming in a more complex model. As you add complexity, such as an added location or an additional general ledger account, the model has to be reworked to account for the changes. This causes the simplicity of updating the model to take precedent over insight into account and location detail, and any drill-down functionality is often lost in the process. This causes the end user to miss any insight that could be gained from taking into account not only the big picture, but also the granular data. The next is the lack of flexible modeling and reporting. Each scenario has to be modeled out separately, and any change in the model could cause it to break. In addition, each situation has to be built out manually, which eliminates the possibility for ad hoc analysis. Another challenge often encountered is the lack of visibility from leadership into business performance. In today's fast-moving environment, businesses can't afford the time necessary to manually update models on a monthly basis, let alone for new lines of business and opportunities. Going along with the last point, businesses have an immense need to streamline planning processes to respond to change. There needs to be a single source of truth on the current state of the business, readily available to all stakeholders in order to respond to outside factors and change. In today's fast-moving environment, one needs the ability to model different scenarios as conditions change. This is not possible with many traditional tools. You may be able to model out one scenario, but what if you want to compare the results of 3 or 4 scenarios against each other? It can become a very convoluted model in a short amount of time. Lack of version control can lead to last-minute scrambles and lack of trust in the underlying model. There needs to be clear differentiation between the most up-to-date version and previous versions of a model. In outdated planning processes, there is often no clear link between the underlying data and the data in the final model. By using a single source of truth, you can determine that your information is accurate and up-to-date to make sure everyone in the organization is on the same page. To be agile, what is required is an active planning process, a new planning paradigm that helps you make better decisions faster and respond quickly to the changing situations. One that is collaborative, involves all users from finance to HR, from executives to analysts. This process was hard enough when everyone is in the same conference room. It's become even more challenging in a 100% remote environment. It has to be comprehensive, not just a finance view or HR view. You need to model and analyze and see the impact across all aspects of your business. And one that is continuous, because we've all learned that you can't rely on an annual plan. You need to continually review external factors with integral data, adjust, and replan. This requires a solution that is designed for all the business, not just for IT or power users, so that everyone can participate in the planning process, especially those closest to the business. A solution that offers a powerful modeling engine that can handle modeling across all data with unlimited dimensions with complex calculations, so you can model your business the way you need to, allowing you to do all of the what-if scenarios needed to make the right decision. And do this continuously, allowing you to do a rolling forecast in a frequency that makes sense for your business and links the plan to execution, because only then you can achieve business agility. This is what Workday Adaptive Planning does. It frees companies to be agile, analyze, and see the impact across all aspects of your business. In this demonstration, I'm going to go over how Workday Adaptive Planning addresses each one of the challenges encountered with legacy planning processes and allows the user to take back control. With Workday Adaptive Planning, the end user is able to drill into the model at any level. Assets can be viewed separately or combined, and any account statement category can be expanded into further detail. Adaptive planning is able to handle complex calculations that are company and industry specific. In this example, a unique calculation within the oil and gas industry is NGL, which is calculated as net to plant volume times GPM times recoveries. Adaptive planning is able to handle these calculations on the fly for each specific time period and level of detail desired. In this case, by month and quarter and on the individual well level. In this example, I am going to show how easy it is to create ad hoc reports with adaptive planning. As you can see, adaptive planning uses drag and drop report creation that allows you to customize the information that you want in your report. This report is going to look at several income statement categories, such as revenue, cost of goods sold, operating expenses, and general and administrative expense. Once you've set up the report in a way that looks preferable to you, you are then able to design the report for the time period for which you would like to pull in data for you. Adaptive planning will then accumulate your data and present it in the time period specified. These time periods can consist of any combination of static periods, such as years, quarters, or months, or even more complicated time periods, such as period to date. In this case, I would like to look at information for a year-to-date period in 2020. Once the report is created, you are able to drill into category detail or view the information at a summarized level. In addition, you are able to drill further into many levels of detail. In this example, since we are looking at drilling assets, you are able to see fee detail for each asset. This gives you great insight into the revenue at a very detailed level. With adaptive planning, visibility into business performance is accessible throughout the organization. User permission sets allow for customizable access groups depending on the level of functionality that is needed for that user. One is able to grant administrative, standard, or even report-only access, making it very easy to grant end users the functionality that suits them best, without having to turn over complete control of the model. This way, end users will always have access to the most up-to-date numbers and can make decisions when needed. The planning process needs to be collaborative and respond to change. In adaptive planning, general ledger accounts are centrally organized and assigned to financial statement categories. This allows the planning process to be collaborative between departments. Changes can be implemented fast and on the fly, with real-time updates to the model. One of the most important features of adaptive planning is the ability to perform what-if analysis on your data at a granular level. In this example, you can see that I am comparing two different scenarios, actual results for 2020 and a forecast baseline for the same year. Adaptive planning allows the end user to customize the analysis for the time periods that they would like to compare, with the ability to bring in both historical and prospective data for each scenario. Version control is a very important feature of any development process. In adaptive planning, version control is central to the planning process. Scenarios can be locked down to each group of users, either fully or partially, or even hidden, allowing for assurance that no changes are made to the data. In addition, editable fields have audit functionality so that you are able to see not only a number was changed, but also when and by whom. Of utmost importance in this process is having a single source of truth for all financial figures. As you can see here, adaptive planning encompasses the full process of planning and contains the agreed upon figures for each scenario. These base figures then roll up into the overall model based on rules specific to your organization, providing a full end-to-end solution for your financial planning needs. We would love to further discuss how adaptive planning could make a difference in your business. Feel free to reach out to Brian Zahn or Cheryl Nealon for further information.